What's up, guys? It's Casey here. Just gonna be here talking about the Tearlament deck, my opinions on it. Am I sad to see it go? Do I love to see it go? You know, everyone wiping their tears here. But before we get into that, I just want to talk about Next Level Anime. That is my sponsor, nextlevelanime.com. They do custom print shirts. They do all types of anime apparel. If you use my code KC, you get 10% off. And I love them. I'm glad they support it. He really wants to support Yu-Gi-Oh and different like TCG hobbies, so please give him a check out. Right now he's also, because he just launched his website, if you buy anything really, you just get a free beanie and other items. You can sign up to the newsletter. I think you also get more discounts there. So yeah, let's get into it. So Tier, what are my opinions on this deck? What do I think? I thought it was great for Yu-Gi-Oh. To be really honest with you, I just really liked that it promoted great interaction, great gameplay, just like skill matchups. Like honestly, every YCS since Tier's been out, if Tier was in the finals, it just was like a really high level player. And I think that just goes to show the power level of this deck. I think it just goes to show that even with all of these cards like D5, Macro, Shifter, the Tier player, if they were just better, could get out of it a lot of the time. I mean, there were some times, I think it was, what was it, the YCS in Canada, unfortunately Shifter just kind of crushed him. But other than that, it was just a great deck. I think it really does reward you for playing well. I think the mirror matches are skill intensive. I think my one really big gripe about it, I actually don't even mind it's tier 0, but I think the really big gripe was just the amount of time it took. I noticed that a lot of games that I played always just went down to like who got to scatter shot in game 3, just because like if you didn't just completely 2-0 your opponent, like crushed them, like they didn't open well, or you just dwell, or they didn't get to play, it went into time. I think that's like my biggest complaint. But overall, like just the boards that the Tier deck made didn't seem like super like oppressive. They didn't seem like you didn't get to play Yu-Gi-Oh. It's not like a cash tier deck, right, where they just have like macro, lock you 3 zones, and then as soon as you start playing, you lose your last 2 zones. It doesn't feel like that. It's not a deck where they flip D barrier and you just lose. I just really liked how much interaction it had, all the layers you could do. You could splash it with other decks. You could just play a regular Tier deck. You know, it was unfortunate to see the direction that Tier went at first when it came out. It was like a combo deck with the Dangers. That was actually the deck that I topped with during the regional season. But once I think Shizu's came out, it really just made it like super skillful, super fun to play. And once they hit Orange Light to 1, it made it to where the rogue decks could kind of come back in and play. And I'll be honest, I don't think it deserved the hit that it got right away. I think we could have gotten that hit like maybe after the 250th, right before Nats. But it is what it is. You have to move on. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! We've always had this type of thing where you always just have to move on, and you got to let go of the old decks. I'm on the side that I thought Tier was really great for Yu-Gi-Oh! Even though it was tier 0, you know, tier 0. I thought it was great. I think it promoted great gameplay. Every YCS seemed very skillful, especially the one just Leo and Chris LeBlanc. But yeah, just that match was insane. Just watching all the skillfulness of it. Even his opponent who like popped his own Solic with his Pearl Reno to search a cash tier to summon it on his opponent's turn for more it plays, was just like I was like, God, why do we not want this in Yu-Gi-Oh? Like this is like the peak level of like modern Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, but it is what it is. I will be wiping my tears, and I will be stashing this in the fun box, and I'm sure it'll become a retro format in a few years, and maybe if Konami's nice, we might get some stuff back. I definitely don't agree that everything should have went to 1. I would have been totally okay, honestly, if they would have just been like, fuck Instant Fusion, ban it. And then if we would have just got, you know, maybe like Pearl or Reno to 2, maybe like hit Havnus to 1, so you have to get the new cash tier, and then you have to play 3 of that. It's like a way more fair Havnus. Honestly, if they would have just did that, I would have been like totally okay with it. You know, I think it would have been way more justified. But again, I don't make the rules. I'm not Konami. They have their reasonings for what it is. I just hope that we make similar decks to Tier where it just promotes great gameplay and it's not like super oppressive. You don't get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So those are my thoughts. I'm sorry, all my Tier duelists. We had a good run, and for everyone that just said they hated Tier and it was terrible, well, now you get to play what you want. So thank you guys. Have a good one.